If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that most of my videos are outside with backyard trail builds, mountain biking, and running, and occasionally building some things. But I really wanted to get a studio so I could do some other videos like product reviews and just rundowns of how some events went, or my run, or my bike ride went. So I needed to find a place in my house to do that. And with a busy family life and 2 kids, there really wasn't a lot of options in the house that were either A, quiet, or could be just my own space. So I created this in the small little nook back in my garage. So I wanted to show you guys how I created this with no experience at all in lighting or setting up a YouTube studio, and how you guys can do it with just a little bit of space. Let's get to it. All right, there you go. So now I have full access to my heater and my hot water heater. So I can get in there and do whatever needs to be done, change filters, things like that. But whenever I'm ready to set it up, all I've got to do is put all this stuff back in place. So let's go ahead and let's set everything back up, see how long it takes. There you go, fully set up. Doesn't take any time at all to set it up. The hardest part of the entire thing is that back wall. It is pretty heavy, but there are other options you could do if you didn't want to have to lift something that heavy. Amazon or a party store or probably like a camera website makes faux wood backgrounds that you could easily string up and or roll up. They make them to where they roll up, but you could do something like that if you wanted to. But yeah, it's not too bad with those shelves put in there. I can actually handle it pretty easily myself, and all I got to do is swing it out. If I want to make it a little bit easier, I might put some wheels on the bottom of that only roll in one direction, and then that way I can just basically kind of scoot it and then roll it over into place. But yeah, pretty simple setup, and I really think it looks pretty good. All right, one other thing I wanted to show you guys is I have put little marks with a Sharpie on the concrete where my tripod will go. As you can see, I've got some right there that I just moved it from, and all I've got to do is put my tripod there if I want a specific shot or I'm using a specific camera shot, and then move it up if I'm using a different app or I want a different shot, and it lines it up perfectly. So those are little things that you can do to speed up the process in the setup, is to mark specific locations where your stuff needs to go. As you guys saw, the whole studio fits over on this wall here and in a small tote over here. The tabletop is just some 3/4 inch plywood with an oak veneer on top, and then I just simply stained it. It was a really simple project to do. And as you guys saw, I was able to put one side on my sink, and the other side I put up a little board to actually hold it in place, and it's easily removable, not attached to anything. So I do have to be a little bit careful whenever I'm moving around and trying to get into the studio, but other than that, it's really pretty secure. This wood's 1/2 inch wood that's about 12 inches in length. I'm not really sure what kind of wood it is, to be honest with you. It is leftover scrap from whenever they built my house. This is a similar type of stuff that my roof is made of. But then I just had some scrap pieces here that I cut some angles on to give it some character, and put those on there. Those are actually kind of also handles, so whenever I go to move this wall, it's easier to grab onto. And then I've got a little Jerry the squirrel, which I'm gonna have to give back to my dog. That's Izzy's little stuffed toy. So either that or I'm gonna have to find her another squirrel. I've got a couple of my favorite bibs hanging up here that I can rotate in and out. And then some of my favorite bibs from some of the bigger runs that I've done and bike rides that I've done. And then, of course, my 2 favorite all-time medals that I've gotten. This is from my very first marathon. It's the Kansas City Marathon. It was back in 2010. And then this is from my 50K, 15K challenge, where we ran a 15K the first day and a 50K the second day. Very proud of those. And then up here, from the same race, but a different year, this was the 25K, where I took 2nd place in my age group. Some of the things I'm a lot more proud of than any of my other accomplishments, so I thought I would showcase them there. And then, of course, all my little medals from all my other events, participation mainly. A few of these are actually like placing medals back whenever I was actually decently quick during my younger years running 5Ks. Got my classic Breakfast and Bikes poster. From back in the day. I had a group that I called Breakfast and Bikes. Real simple. We got breakfast, we rode bikes. And then some mountain biking gear here. Just hung up my helmet, and then my new Camelback that I got not too long ago. So it's very, very simple. There's just a softbox light right up here. And then I've got a couple little LED lights that look like this. With some blue gels on these over here on the sides to give some ambiance on each side, I guess. And then I have just one that's pointed up that's just got a white, I don't know if it's a white gel or a diffuser. I'm not sure what the technical lingo is, but this was really all it took to get this set up. It's a very tiny space in my garage, and it works out really well because I can, like I said, I can put it up when I need it and when I don't need it, and then put it back in place whenever I do need it. The key that made the biggest difference for me when it came to all of this was coming up with a plan to be able to set this up very fast. And then once I came up with that plan, I started doing research on how to make the lighting work. And really, honestly, the one piece of lighting that really made a big difference for me was this softbox. It's, I think it's like a $30 softbox, really cheap, and it does take a little bit of time to warm up whenever it's cold out. Like right now, it's freezing. I think it's 14 degrees outside, so it's probably close to like 35 in the garage, if at best. But that light is so nice because it diffuses everything and makes everything look a little bit better, and then these other lights make me pop out a little bit better. So there was a lot of experimenting going on with this. I watched a ton of YouTube videos on people who had professional studios and amateurs like me with just have small YouTube channels. So this is something that anybody can set up if you have a YouTube channel, and I think that this is going to come in handy for my channel, and hopefully you guys get inspired by it for your channel and create something that will work for you. Well, there you go. Here's my new studio. Let me know what you guys think of it. Do you have any tips, anything that I should add to it? What features do you like? What don't you like? Is there anything that I could do better? Just let me know in the comments below. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you like my studio, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I would really appreciate it. I'm hoping that this summer I can create a lot of different videos for everybody. And as always, get out there, run, bike, build, and just have fun. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Coffee in a squirrel cup doesn't get much better.